Okay. Okay. So, I'm here, and let me just say this is like 40 minutes late because I was doing other things. And there we go. Boop. Okay. So, yay! Hello, I'm here. And I was listening to LCD because my friend gave me like a $10 gift card because they couldn't pay me $150 so in money. So they're just like, "Hey, how about I give you this $10 gift card?" And I'm like, "Okay, let me buy this LCD album." Okay. So now I'm going to close this out so nobody can see it. Although everybody saw it. So yay. Let's play this game again, because I'm really excited. I actually really like this game. So, pretty much what happened last time. I'm trying to close this out. Oh, of course. Steam needs to update. Okay, so, while I'm waiting for Steam to update, what happened last time is that we played the prologue in Chapter 1. So pretty much what happened in the prologue is that we learned about the past. The crystallum lucis is the crystal that brings that is fueled by happiness and joy, and then the crystallum tenebrarum, I don't know how to pronounce it, is the crystal that's fueled by hatred, anger, and sadness, pretty much. Just all negative emotions, and then the lucis is all positive emotions. And so, what happened is that this guy, the Grimm brothers, decided to start writing about the fairy tales and made the witches evil in every one. So the witches, of course, got heckin' mad and then put this thing called the fairy tale curse on everybody, pretty much. And then there was a war because the fairies couldn't handle it. Couldn't handle the negative emotion because there was no melons anymore. And so that's pretty much what happened. And then it skips to this, in which we look at our heroine, which I named Calisto. I think her real name is Lucette, or Lucelle. I normally play with the heroine's name, but I decided for the sake of being the first stream ever, first gaming stream, I guess, I'm gonna use Calisto, which is my name. She's a bitch. She's arrogant, she's very cold, and she thinks that, her selfish ways can be justified. And so, she has this doll, named Delora, and she pretty much heckin' was a witch in, like, doll form. And so she gave her the fairy tale curse, which is the Cinderella curse, in which she has to come up with 3 good deeds. And that's pretty hard for her because she's so mean. Alrighty. Daisuke. Alrighty. Fuck. I always heckin' open up my paint program. Daisuke presents. I've already seen this. Okay. While it's nice to see that again, I'm gonna just skip to this. Heck. Okay, Cinderella Phenomenon. I'm gonna, close my dude. Okay, I'm just gonna wait for this to load, and then I'm gonna heckin' close it. Close, man. Close. Yeah, man. Okay. Cinderella Phenomenon. Oh, the first one that we're going for is, Rod, which he has the mermaid curse. Okay, so there's mermaid curse, Rumpelstiltskin, not sure which that one is, Little Red Riding Hood, and then I'm assuming Beauty and the Beast, which is Waltz. Yeah, Waltz is the one that we're gonna do last. I had the heckin' thing up, so we're doing Roy first. Rod, His name looks like Roy, but it's not Roy. So his name is Rod, man. Okay, we're doing his first. So, which file do I choose again? This one. Yeah. I don't see why this is necessary. Of course this is necessary, Princess. You work to show you can be useful. For the last half hour, Parfait and Delora have been debating what chores they want to give me. Parfait is the Lucis holder. She's a fairy, and then Delora is the Tenebra room holder. Yeah. I cannot believe they're seriously going to make me work like a commoner. Well, suck it up, Buttercup. You are a commoner now. No freeloaders at the Martian, remember? And you can't pull the princess card anymore now that you're a homeless peasant. Yeah, B! Being demoted to a homeless peasant is not my fault. If you really think about it, it was kind of me to demote you. Stop teasing her, Delora. Calisto has a lot thrown at her already. I'm only speaking the truth. Besides, working to live is the commoner's way of life, but at least it's rewarding. But if you do nothing, you get nothing. No food, no clothes, no bed. You are no longer a princess, Calisto. Here at the Martian is comfortable, and you need to work for comfort. Remember that. What you do is your choice, Princess. Do I even have a choice? Not really, no. Let's see. How about cooking duties? No way, she burned a salad. How the hell do you burn a salad? She could be a receptionist? Then we lose all of our customers. That's probably true. I am right here, you know. Sorry. So, do you have any useful skills at all? As a princess, I had servants who did everything for me. They cleaned my room, helped me dress. How am I expected to possess skills for things I've never done? They fucking dressed you, man? Wow, okay. That's the rule. That's the true, like, rich life, man. Aha! I have found the perfect job for a Cinderella. Oh? Haha! Ta-da! Calisto will be in charge of sweeping the Martian floors. What? Perfect. Even she should be able to do that. Could you, Princess? I refuse. But look! Even a cute little ribbon on the broom just for you. It's your very own special broom. A princess does not clean. Hard-headed as ever. Don't worry, I have a fix for this. You're not a freaking princess anymore, Calisto. Suck up! Suddenly, the broom flies into my hands. I'm pulled helplessly along the thing and begins to sweep the floors. I try to pull my hands away, but they may as well be glued to the broom. They do not budge. What have you done? You should be thanking me. I'm helping you with your duties. Delora, isn't this a little too much? Oh, nonsense. The princess is learning useful skills. Mr. Broom will teach her everything she needs to know. If the floor is dirty, Mr. Broom will come to life and start sweeping, and it will not stop until the floors are spotless. What the hell, man? What? Come on, Parfait. We've got a cup of tea. We've got time for a cup of tea. What the hell, man? But she'll be fine. A little sweeping never killed anyone. You are dreadful! Enjoy your time with Mr. Broom. Wait! Did she really just leave? Hey! Slow down! The broom begins to sweep faster. Despite my protests, I'm still forced, like a puppet, to sweep the floors with grudging tenacity. Goddamn. I can barely catch my breath after that. Princess! Oh. Oh, wait. Fuck. Princess! Parfait sent me to check. Huh? How lovely! It's so clean I can see my reflection on the floorboards. I'm impressed. Do you not even think about stepping into this room with your dirty shoes? Goodness, I didn't know princesses could be such terrifying creatures. You are aware that the Martian is opening soon, yes? The floor isn't going to stay clean forever. Then do not open the Martian. I do sympathize with you, Princess. It's difficult adjusting to the commoner's life. What would you know about that? More than you think. What? Oh, did I let that slip? That was my mistake. Yeah, you're from a royal family too, but you just got used to it, which is why you could freeload, man. Kermit just smiles at me, his eyes gleaming with playful mischief. He's definitely hiding something. My hands are red and sore from all of the sweeping I've done today. I remember that the salvia anise offered me when I first woke up in my room. Surely that will help somewhat. I apply it to my hands and find that, to my surprise, it's very effective. Most of the redness quickly fades, along with the pain. Is this what my life will be like if I do not break the curse? Forced to work day in and day out. I cannot let things stay as they are. I must act. I have no idea why I gave her that accent. I lay down to rest. Tiredness falls upon me like a heavy, suffocating blanket. I close my eyes and feel myself shift into the darkness of sleep. By the way, I apologize for the quality of the stream. I really hate when it's this low quality, but if I don't have it at this quality, it won't run. Despite having slept for hours, I'm still tired when I awake. I glance back at my hands and remember the solve's effectiveness. Whatever Annis gave me really works. I should ask her to make some more. I feel like this is not the last time I will need it. I must act quickly. The sooner I break the curse, the better. The people who offered to help me are all here. Whom should I ask for help? Rod. That's who we're going after, man. Rod came to the Martian state to discuss something with Parfait. This is the third time he has visited the tavern since I have been here. I wonder what he discusses with Parfait. Rod's eyebrows furrow as soon as he sees me enter the room.
Oh, it seems like the princess has something she would like to speak with you about, Prince Rod.
She probably already knows why I'm here.
Thank you, Prince Rod, for telling me about this. I shall leave you with the princess now.
Rod's expression turns grim. He clearly disapproves of me, even just being in the same room as him. Oh my god, that's how much she's been rude to him. As soon as Parfait leaves, he shoots a glare in my direction. What do you want? All I've done is to enter the room and he's already angry. I'm still not used to being treated like this by him. I'm here to ask you about goodness. You are asking the wrong person, Calisto. Did I make the right choice in choosing to come to him? I do not intend to help you break your curse, no matter what Lady Parfait says. Pardon? Emmeline and my mother have tried to be kind to you many times, but you only ever respond with disrespect and cruelty. Cruelty? You think I've been cruel to them? How else would you describe your behavior? Why am I suddenly the one at fault? The coming to the palace made my life miserable. I'm the victim here, not them. Well, it's kind of going both ways, man. The others may think you're capable of goodness, but I severely doubt it. I did not wish to work with you, so do not come to me for help. Excuse me. He turns around and begins to walk away, leaving me to stand alone in the room, even angrier than I was before. How dare he treat me like this? I grab his arm and pull him around so that he's facing me. I refuse to let him belittle me like this, especially when I'm making a conscious effort to change. What if I can help you break your curse? Would you help me then? What the hell is this saying? Oh. Rod fixes me with the nicest stare as he pulls away. I don't intend to break my curse. What? Rod shoots me one last glare before he leaves the Martians, leaving me to stand there confused. If he does not intend to break his curse, then why is he even here? Oh well. Oh shit! I stare in horror at the floor. Gravel and sand are embedded between the floorboards. The wood beneath my feet is covered in a thick muck. The humor of this game. Oh no. Stop!
I never thought I'd see this. The princess is actually sleeping.
I'd say it's more like the broom is sweeping and the princess is just along for the ride. Lady Parfait, your orders have arrived. Where should I put them?
At the back, please. Thank you.
I glare at Garland as he begins to move. You! You are dirtying the floor! Sorry. Garland dashes across the floor with long steps in an attempt to leave as few footprints as possible.
This was Dolores doing, wasn't it? Isn't it obvious?
This has witch having fun written all over it. I have no idea.
I meant to do this voice, but it just came out as
Calisto's voice. I need water.
How completely spotless.
You are the worst.
Don't be mad at the broom, princess. It's only trying to help.
It is doing nothing but making my life miserable.
Lady Parfait, I must speak with you.
I look up at the witch that is centered. She is a regular at the Martian, and according to Parfait and Delora, a good witch. Sure to see her from time to time. She's mud on her shoes!
Why is she glaring at me like that? I believe it's because of your shoes, dear.
I've just cleaned the floor.
Oh, I'm sorry. Have cleaned it up after myself right away.
Good. The princess is something else. I've never seen a witch so frightened of someone before. There we go. Yeah. The witch hurriedly cleans up the tracks she made in coming in before going to speak with Parfait. Why can't she just take off her shoes? Even though Parfait says that this witch is good, I do not trust her judgment. Especially not when she considers Delora, who ruined my life, a good person. I put the broom back in its resting place before double-checking my work. Now that I'm done, I can continue to work on breaking my curse. Who should I ask for help to today? Rod. Just be persistent. I glance over at Rod as he enters the tavern. That was almost perfect timing. He told me that I does not intend to break his curse, yet here he is again. Rod must sense my eyes on him, because the minute he walks in he turns to look at me. His expression is as cold as unmoving as always. God damn. He pointedly leaves the tavern area and returns and enters the reception. I follow after him. I told you to find someone else. What can I do to make you stop hating me? What? You said that whatever I had done to you or your family was bad, so if I reverse that, I might get a good deed. You truly don't understand how goodness works, do you? I would not be asking you if I did. Rod closes his eyes and rubs the back of his neck. He looks thoughtful, but also irritated. God damn, I love him already. Man. I intend to break my curse as soon as possible, and I will do whatever it takes. And it seems to me that the easiest way to achieve a good deed is to fix the supposedly bad things I have done already. So, are you going to help me or not? Tell Lady Parfait I will see her another time. He leaves the room without answering my question. I ball my hands into fists. And he calls me the cruel one? Yeah! Because you kind of, ruined his family, man. I'm at this past, and I have yet to complete even one good deed. Not for any lack of trying, though. I've been asking around for advice on how to be a good person, and received various answers. What makes someone good? I'd say being selfless.
I think it's important that you consider another person's feelings.
Patience. The ability to soothe even the most broken of hearts. The ability to soothe even the most broken hearts. And that's Rumple for you. I love him, man. Forget I asked. No! Rumple, no! Bravery. What the hell? Loyalty. Bravery. There we go. You must be beautiful, both on the outside and out. Both on the inside and out. Right. Must I be all of those things in order to be good? According to Parfait, I cannot just pretend. It has to come from my heart. I place my hand on my chest and consider the steady pulse of my heartbeat. That will not be easy. I close my eyes, thinking of all the possible ways I might be able to break my curse, but in the end my mind is blank. Mother, what am I supposed to do? A dream? Your personal feelings are nothing but a weakness for others to exploit. That is why you do not show them. You do not show them. You only show them that you are strong. This is the reason why she's messed up, man.
Yes, Mother.
You must not let false kindness deceive you. People will use niceties to trick you into exploiting your weak emotions. But you can trust me, Calisto. I will never hurt you. I will never lie to you. I am all you need. You're lying to her right now, man! I love you, Calisto.
I love you too, Mother.
How are those lessons of yours going? I hope you're not giving anyone a difficult time. I'm the only one having a difficult time.
Have you tried pairing up with someone?
Pairing up?
Some of the people in the tavern pair up to assist each other. 2 heads are better than 1, as they say.
It's not a bad idea, but the problem is with her. Who's going to volunteer to pair up with the Ice Princess? She has a point. People may not glare at me anymore, but it does not escape me that I'm still disliked.
Most of the boarders in the Martian have volunteered to help her, remember? And I haven't heard any of them reject their offers.
It's only a matter of time.
Stop it, Laura. It's your choice, Princess. Pairing up is only a suggestion.
Would pairing up with someone really help me to break my curse? If they end up being an annoyance instead?
Princess? Excuse me? Princess? I'm sorry for disturbing you, but you've just been staring at your tray and the customer is waiting for his order.
Of course. Dolores has me helping a niece today. The Martian is unexpectedly busy and they cannot keep up with all of the customers. Stop daydreaming, Calisto. Food doesn't deliver itself. I do not need you to tell me that. Okay. I stretch out on my bed. The stiff mattress does little to soothe my aching muscles. Man, these days are going by fast. I was on my feet the entire day, struggling to keep up with the steady stream of people that came into the Martian. I've never seen the Martian this busy. I roll onto my stomach and bury my face into my pillow. My arms and legs protest the movement. I refuse to live this type of life much longer. I need to break this curse as soon as possible.
Why don't you pair up with someone?
Pairing up might not be such a bad idea. Pair up with Rod! It's not gonna help you, but pair up with Rod! Okay. So those 2 are locked right now. Rod, man. I've been choosing Rod. Chapter 3. A change of pace. I will ask Rod if he will pair up with me. I know we do not have such a good relationship. Rod has spared no effort in telling me how cruel I have been to his family, but I feel that rectifying whatever mistakes I made with him might be an easy way to get 3 good deeds. Oh, this is going to be very interesting.
But Calisto, didn't he tell you that he didn't want to break the curse? That he didn't want to break his curse?
Yes, but that might not be the whole truth.
He's still reluctant to break his curse despite all the advice I have offered him. Perhaps you will be able to encourage him where I cannot.
I do not care if he does not want to break his curse. I only need him to help me remedy the supposedly bad things I have done to his family. I believe that will be the easiest ways to break my curse. But the problem is that I rarely see him here. He is usually at the palace. In order for this arrangement to work, I will need to be in the palace. I, for one, think it's a terrible idea. What if... Dolores' voice trails off. She covers her head to the floor, her expression a mixture of anxiety and solemn consideration. What if what? Is there something I should know? Hold on a second. Man, that's super behind, dude. Why is it so behind, man? Huh. Alrighty. We're good. Both the witch and the fairy just stare at me silently. After a few moments, Parfait speaks.
You would be far away from us, Princess. We would not be able to assist you.
Witches could be lying in wait for you, knowing that you're the true crown princess of Angial. They might seek to use you for their own purposes. What sorts of purposes? Why would witches be after me in the first place?
Many of them have been corrupted by the Tenebrarum. Darkness has invaded their hearts, making them bitter. Many of them simply want to see the fairy tale curses continue on undisturbed. This is all just speculation, but it's better be safe rather than sorry. What would you have me to do? Delora?
I have an idea. I think I can get her into the palace and make sure there's someone out there to look out for her.
How?
Just trust me. Tomorrow the Ice Princess returns to the palace. I have a bad feeling about this. You're gonna be a servant lady! Yeah, I knew it. This cannot be happening.
Don't dilly-dally. The princess will soon be awake and expecting her new maid.
I closed my eyes and suppressed the urge to groan. How is it that Delora was able to turn me into Emmeline's personal maid? She thought this would be funny, didn't she? Well, I will make her pay for this.
I expect you not to be late again. We have very strict rules on how the palace staff should behave.
I'm not exactly sure how Delora managed this. She told me she was going to cast a spell on me that it would be over as soon as I opened my eyes. I closed my eyes and sure enough when I opened them I found myself here in a maid uniform. What did she do? The maid continues to babble at me. How annoying. I pretend to listen to her as she leads me through the palace hallways. Emmeline and Rod's chamber is located here.
Oh!
We come out of the hall when Emmeline suddenly appears around from the corner.
Your Highness!
Your Highness! The maid ducks into a neat curtsy. Emmeline's eyes meet mine. I tense as I wait for any signs of recognition from her, but she only gives me a curious look as if she's wondering who I am. She clearly does not recognize me. The maid suddenly reaches back and pulls on my shoulder, forcing me into a bow. You are in front of the Crown Princess of Angiel. Show some respect, girl! My apologies, Your Highness. She is new and clearly needs to be taught some manners. Excuse me?
Oh, please, there's no need for that.
What is she trying to achieve by pretending to be kind to a palace maid? Who is she trying to fool? Your Highness, this is your new personal maid. Emmeline glances at the maid, looking confused.
Why do I need a personal maid?
It is by the king's orders, Princess. Emmeline turns to look at me again.
What is your name?
She's talking to you, girl. I scowl at the maid before facing Emmeline. I cannot believe I have fallen so low that I am now being ordered around by a maid. Calisto.
It's nice to meet you, Calisto. I hope we can get along.
When I do not respond, Emmeline's face falls.
I was just heading to breakfast with my family.
Of course, Calisto will escort you into the dining hall. I raise my eyebrows at the maid, irritated.
There's no need for concern. I can get there on my own.
I breathe a sigh of relief. I'm not here to babysit her. The maid leans in forward and whispers something in my ear. I don't know how it is that you landed this position, but you owe the royal family your diligence and respect. If you continue to show disrespect, I will be having a word with the king. The maid pushes me forward so that I'm forced to stand next to Emmeline. She will escort you to the dining hall, Your Highness. Her job requires that she follow you everywhere in case you require assistance with anything.
But
it is almost time for breakfast, Princess Emmeline. Emmeline frowns and looks at me. I'm so sorry. What is she apologizing for?
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. It seems that you have met your personal maid. The king's eyes widen as soon as he spots me. You look familiar. Does he recognize me? I feel a little tremble in my heart as I consider that moment. Are you not the girl who came to the gates before? I deflate with a soundless sigh. He remembers me as the peasant. This is the first time I'm meeting you as Emmeline's personal maid. What is your name?
Calisto.
That is a lovely name. We are glad to have you here, Calisto. The king gives me a warm smile. The softness of his gaze makes me angry. He never treated me so kindly when he remembered me as his own daughter. Emmeline takes her seat while I stand at the walls beside other maids and butlers. Where the hell is it so behind, man? Do I just need to keep this open?
What the hell?
I guess I'll do that. The door opens and Rod walks inside. He greets the king, Ophelia, and then his sister. He's just about to take a seat when his eyes suddenly fall on mine. The shock is apparent on his face. Rod, is something wrong? I see there is a new maid on staff. His tone is almost accusatory. Accusatory? I don't know how to pronounce that. I bristle at his words, and I'm about to say something when Ophelia speaks.
She is Emmeline's new personal maid, Calisto.
Rod stares at me for a few moments, his expression unreadable. Eventually, he moves to take his seat. I stand silent and watch the royal family eat their breakfast. The small area is filled with happy conversations. The four of them smile at each other when they speak, and it's easy to see how comfortable they all are with one another. When I was still here, I made this were always so quiet, but everyone looks so happy now. I bite my lip to will the heavy feeling away. Paul told me that before, but I did not want to believe him. I turned back to the conversation at hand. We have something very important to discuss with you, Emily.
Oh?
I brought this up before, but now the matter is more pressing.
Is this about...
Yes, this is about the ball. Ophelia gives the king a disapproving look. Dear. I know it's a strange proposition, but this is royal tradition. Emmeline is at a marrying age, and this ball may yet help her find a suitor. But a husband... Emmeline's cheeks are tinted pink. A royal ball for Emily? For her to find a husband? I never would have agreed to such a thing. The king never forced me into one because he knew that. I will not force you to marry someone you do not love, Emmeline. We agreed on this ball to uphold tradition. All eligible bachelors will be invited in 4 months' time, and you will choose the man you want to court you. I did find my true love through a ball, after all. He glances at Ophelia, who responds with a fond smile. Xenomorph, get out of here! Her expression falls back into something more worried when she looks at her daughter.
But what if I can't choose anyone?
We will throw one ball as per tradition. We will not force you into another ball if you do not find a good suitor, but we must uphold traditions at least once. Perhaps this will push you to think more about the future. I will not put any added pressure on you, Emmeline, but I will be happy to see your grandchildren before I have to give up my throne. I'm not getting any younger, you know.
Father!
I can tell that the king is trying to make light of this situation, but there is an undertone of seriousness. Emmeline eventually sighed and slowly nods.
I understand.
My gaze shifts to Rod to search for a reaction, but his expression is impassive. No reaction at all. Does he know this was going to happen?
But can I really be the princess of the kingdom of Angiel deserves? I feel so unprepared.
You are the crown princess of Angiel. You must be confident. Emmeline looks stunned, looking genuinely distressed.
I'm finished. May I please be excused?
But sweetheart, you barely touched your food. You may. Emmeline stands up and ducks into a quick curtsy before rushing from the room. I do not move until I feel Rod's glare on me. I realize that I'm meant to follow Emmeline. Excuse me. I curtsy and follow after Emmeline. I barely make it a few steps away from the dining hall before the door flies open and Rod is rushing after me. What are you doing here? I'm gonna heckin' answer. Oh god, voice crack. I'm gonna answer. I'm here to break my curse. You'd expect me to believe that when you had people offering to help at the Martian. Rod's expression changes, anger clear in his eyes. No, I really know why you're here. No, I know why you really are here. What are you talking about? You thought you might take back what is rightfully yours, didn't you? You have no qualms about hurting my family again. I stare at him, nonplussed by his accusations. I carefully quell the simmering anger inside me. The last thing I want is to be fired before I break my curse. I'm not here to hurt anyone, so stop accusing me of such things. We glare at each other in silence. I'd always thought that Rod was closed off and quiet. Yay! We made the right decision! But his emotions are always blazing in his eyes. You shouldn't be here. Rod steps back, but his gaze is still fierce. I do not have time for this. I'm going to find Emily. Why, so you can insult her? No, because it is now my job to attend to her. Excuse me. The last place I expect to find Emily is in the throne room. Much to my surprise, I find her standing alone, staring up at the throne.
Oh!
When she turns to face me, she has a guilty expression on her face.
I'm sorry.
What is she apologizing for?
I was very rude earlier, walking out on everyone at breakfast.
Emmeline gazes back at the throne and sighs.
I'm sure any other girl would be happy to have a ball. I mean, it's like something out of a fairy tale. But I...
She sighs once again and looks down at her clasped hands.
It all sounds so perfect in the fairy tales. 3 days is all it takes before everyone's found their true love. But I don't think that's how it works in real life, do you?
I have nothing to say in response when Emmeline turns her beseeching gaze to me.
I don't know how I'm supposed to marry someone I barely even know. Is this really what it means to be the crown princess?
Isn't this precisely what you wanted?
Excuse me?
When your mother married the king, you became a princess. You went from rags to riches overnight. I cannot keep the bitterness from my voice when I speak. Your life is playing out like Cinderella's, is it not? All you are missing are the glass slippers, and even then I'm sure the king would arrange for such a pair. I cannot understand why you are so unhappy.
Neither can I.
Emmeline turns away from me to face the throne more, and in the sun that streams down the windows, I see something shining on her cheeks. Is she crying?
I'm so ungrateful. Calisto, what would you do?
What?
If you were in my place. If you became the crown princess overnight, what would you? Would you go with the ball? Through with the ball for the sake of Angiel's tradition, for the sake of your role?
I would never do anything so worthless. The king never brought up the subject with me. He most likely knew I would have refused. Emmeline suddenly pats her cheeks and turns to me, a wry smile on her face.
I could do with some fresh air. Shall we go to my friend's shop in town?
We have only just exited the throne room when Emmeline starts short, and I almost bump into her back.
Oh!
Your Highness. Oh, Your Highness, what a pleasant. Sir Mithras stops to stare at me. Hey, he has a curse too! Why is Sir Mithras looking up at me so intensely?
Is something the matter, Sir Mithras?
No, nothing at all, Your Highness. I'm just amused. Amused?
Oh, you haven't met my new maid. This is Calisto.
Calisto? There's something in Sir Mithras' gaze that I do not trust. The silence is stifling, so I curtsy at him. Sir. Charming. Sir Mithras turns his attention back to Emmeline. Where are you off to on this pleasant day?
Oh, just off to visit a friend.
Make sure you bring your guards with you, Princess.
Of course. I wonder what's taking him so long.
Emmeline decided to invite Rob to join us on our visit. One of the guards offered to get Rod for her, but he is still yet to return. Another stands with us by the gates, ready to escort us into town. Why does the king keep these incompetent fools if they cannot find a single person?
Maybe we should go look for Rod. But then, what if he gets here as soon as we go searching for him?
I will go look for him. You can stay here.
But you don't need to run errands for me.
She has yet to ask me to do anything. What does she think a maid even does? I look at her solemnly, not answering her. Finally, she relents.
Thank you, Calisto.
I incline my head just slightly before walking off. I feel like a babysitter. I cannot believe I have to search for Rod. This is only slightly better than being dragged in around by that broom. Hello, single person that is watching this. I turn around the corner and nearly bump into someone. I take a few steps back just in time. Princess? Princess? I look up in shock. Fritz's surprise mirrors my own. Ah, his name is Fritz. Where have you been? I've been looking for you everywhere. He pauses to stare at my clothing. Why are you wearing a maid's uniform? Fritz, you remember who I am? I would never forget you, Princess Calisto. But it does seem like I'm the only one who remembers you. What is going on, Princess? The only people who remember me are the witches, fairies, and... Fritz, are you... I stop when I hear the sound of approaching footsteps. Fritz turns at the sound and then stoops low into a formal bow when he sees Rod. Your Highness. Rod's impassive expression twists with annoyance when he sees me. Rod does not even acknowledge Fritz, and then he walks past him to stop in front of me. Shouldn't you be attending to my sister? I don't understand. Prince Rod, do you know why the princess is dressed like this? Rod is clearly just as surprised as I am that Fritz remembers me. You recognize her?
Ah!
You recognize her? You remember the princess too? But if you knew, then why didn't you say anything when she first went missing? And can someone explain to me why she's attending to Princess Emmeline? Is this Fritz? I cut him off before he can ask any more questions. I feel Rod's gaze on my back as I turn to look at Fritz. No more questions. But, Princess, right now I am a palace maid. A what? It's a long story and I have no time to explain now, so do not ask. Fritz is clearly discontent. He seems to struggle for a few moments before he finally sighs and nods. Yes, Your Highness. Though it is nice to hear someone here speak my title, it will not do if Fritz calls me that on accident. It's just Calisto for now. But I turn to face Rod. Emmeline is waiting. What? The god could not even deliver her message? Where are you going? Emmeline wants to visit her friend's shop in town, and she wants you to go with us, Rod. Town? Ordinarily, I would not mind Fritz joining us, but for now he might just be an unnecessary company. He may very well give me away. Rod barely wants to speak with me when it's just the two of us. I doubt Fritz would make him more sociable. I'm assuming that accompanying you is not an option at this point. Yes. Fritz looks down for a moment before looking at Rod. I'm sorry to ask this of you, Your Highness, but since she refuses to let me do so, please look after Princess Calisto in my place. Ridiculous, I do not need to be coddled. Even if I did, Rod would care less if I am hurt. I will do my best, Sir Fitzgerald. But I cannot tell if he's being genuine or not. Fritz bows to the both of us. Stay safe, Calisto. And you, Your Highness. Rod turns and begins to walk away without another word. Goddamn. Come on. Rod is silent as we make our way back to the palace gates. I'm still thinking about what he said to Fritz earlier. Why would Rod agree to Fritz's request? Because he just wanted him to leave? I stare at Rod's back as he walks in front of me. Sometimes I cannot figure out what he's thinking.
Rod! Calisto!
Emmeline beams when she catches sight of us.
Are you ready?
Rod crosses his arms. He does not look very happy with his sister. Even though Rod is younger, I cannot help but think that he often sounds like the older of the two. I thought he was the older one! But that could be because, gender roles. But, that's just me. I just realized that they were talking about husbands earlier. The heir to the throne would get a husband. Holy hell, man. I'm busy, Emmeline. I can't keep dropping everything whenever you... My voice. I can't keep dropping everything whenever you want me to leave the palace.
I'm sorry, but I just really needed some fresh air today.
You can get plenty of fresh air on the palace grounds.
I felt like I needed to be off the palace grounds.
Emmeline's face drops as she looks down at the ground. Rod lets out an exasperated sigh before stepping inside the carriage. Come on.
Rod?
Just for an hour, okay?
Thank you!
I soon come to realize that it's easier to walk around now that everyone has forgotten who I am. The atmosphere around town feels brighter. All the spiteful stares are gone. Princess Emmeline!
Oh, how are you doing? Is your wife feeling better?
Emmeline's response to most of the people who know her. She seems to know a good majority of the people in town. I hang back as Emmeline speaks with the man. The night escort hovers somewhere nearby, watching for disturbances. If you're going to take longer than an hour, if she continues like this, I'm not going to rush her. Don't you need to return to the palace to continue whatever work it is that you are doing? Rod raises an eyebrow at me. I do have to get back to my studies, but my family always comes first. If this makes Emmeline happy, then I'll gladly come with her into town. It's a small thing. Happy? I look more closely at Emmeline. She is smiling, but then she always smiles. I do not understand. She's more at ease talking to the townspeople sometimes because they don't judge her. Why would she have to worry about being judged? It's clear that that everyone adores her. Emmeline takes the man's hand in hers and wishes him well. Rod points out the gesture. See that? That's goodness. You could learn something from my sister, Calisto. Is goodness pretending to be interested in the lives of strangers? Emmeline eventually says her goodbyes before walking towards a familiar store. This is the toy shop I visited with Emmeline and Rod before. I glance at Rod and notices the expression on his face. He seems
conflicted. But why?
But before I can ask, Rod marches in front of me and decisively pushes open the door. When I enter, Emmeline is already hugging the shop girl, Viorica.
Emmeline, you look as beautiful as ever. Ah, please, I look the same. You, on the other hand.
Emmeline steps back before nodding, a bright smile on her face.
Being in love suits you. When's the wedding?
Wedding? She's already engaged. She's already engaged? I catch a small movement out of the corner of my eyes to turn to glance at Rod. I notice his fingers clench into a fist before he quickly hides his hand behind his back. Though his expression is impassive as always, I notice a tenseness in his shoulders.
Pessimint and I haven't set a date yet, but it should be soon. Would you?
Viorica trails off when she notices the rest of us.
Hello, Rod.
Viorica. His tone is surprisingly static.
Last time he was here, I'm sure he sounded friendlier.
Oh, whoops. Wrong voice.
So what can I help you with, Emmeline? Looking for another doll?
Another doll? But Emmeline is not interested in dolls.
Oh no, I'm just here to see you. I can't stay for long since Rod has things to do.
Emmeline, I'll wait for you outside.
Oh, okay.
I know it is my job to follow Emmeline around, but I'm not at all interested in hearing her talk to this girl. Does she even want me? I think I'm just gonna stay with Emmeline, because that would be what Rod wants. Before I can decide what I want to do, Emmeline has turned to look at me with a smile.
This is Calisto. She just started working as my personal maid today.
It's not like you to make a maid follow you around. Emmeline's expression quickly becomes apologetic.
I'm sorry, Calisto. I didn't even ask if you wanted to come with us. I just expected you to tag along.
Why is she apologizing? I meant to tend to her regardless of where she is, unless she dismisses me. I'm sure Calisto doesn't mind. It's such a beautiful day today, after all. Emmeline turns to me and smiles.
You don't have to wait for me if you don't want to, Calisto. I won't be long. I only wanted to see Viorica for a bit. I haven't been able to see her as often since I moved.
Well, that's to be expected. Princesses shouldn't be associating with shop girls like me. Viorica has a point. Why does Emmeline insist on this?
But you're my best friend. I'm still not accustomed to the fact that I can't just visit you every day.
Those were the good old days, when we were still neighbors.
I'd still live next to you if I could. Do you remember all those games of tag we used to play together when we were children? Remember how Rod always lost?
The two girls laughed together as a shared memory. I try not to roll my eyes. So they were all childhood friends. Are you sure there's nothing I can help you with? We all turn to the sound of chimes as a customer walks in. Excuse me. One moment. Viorica turns to Emmeline with a guilty expression. I'm so sorry, but I have to take this.
No, it's alright. I'll come see you another time.
I promise, we can stay for as long as you want to next time. Emmeline smiles and hugs her friend in farewell. I follow closely behind Emmeline as she exits the shop. Rod pushes away from the wall that he had been leaning against once he notices us leaving. Ready to go? Emmeline nods with a smile. The two of us begin to make our way to the palace again. Shit! Okay, so that wasn't the right choice. No, heckin', I want to load it. Alrighty. Okay, it's still up to date. I'll go outside. My time might be better spent trying to improve Rod's opinion of me. I just stayed inside because I thought that's what would Rod want, because I need to tend to his sister. If I could get him to tell me precisely what I've done wrong, I can make up for it. I hope that it would give me a good deed. I curtsy to the other two girls. Excuse me, Your Highness. I shall wait outside with Rod. I cough to clear my throat. With the prince.
Okay, I won't be long.
I move to stand next to Rod, who's leaning against the wall. Oh my god, I got a CG! Rod sighs in annoyance. Why do you keep on following me? Tell me how to rectify whatever wrong I have done to your family. This again? I cannot help but scowl at Rod's answer. You spout all this nonsense about goodness but refuse to help me. How is that good? You haven't given me any reason to help you. What? If you're not serious about genuinely learning how to be good, then I'm not interested in helping you. Maybe I can catch him off guard by bringing up his response in the toy shop just now.
Fine, then I will make no overcompensation. Who is Fiorica to you? Has she done something to hurt your family too?
Fiorica is a childhood friend. She's not like you at all.
Oh, then why were you acting so cool to her?
You obviously did not want to be inside the shop. Rod looks away from me and absently kicks a pebble on the ground. That is none of your business. I sigh, disappointed with Rod's reaction. Yeah, boy! Rod turns away from me as Emmeline exits the shop. Ready to go. Emmeline nods with a small smile. The two of us begin to make our way to the palace again. By the time we return to the palace, evening has fallen.
I hope we're not late for dinner.
The moment the carriage door opens again, we are greeted by two familiar faces. Sir Alcaster and Sir Mithros stands before us. What voice? Princess Emmeline. Prince Rod. Heckin. I don't know what voice to do! Princess Emmeline. Prince Rod. I was on my way to look for you when Sir Mithros informed me of your whereabouts. He glares at the knight escort and the knight shrinks back. Sir Alcaster turns sharply to me afterwards, his eyes narrowed. Why is he looking at me like that? It was getting late and the queen was worried.
I'm so sorry.
Princess Emmeline, Prince Rod, it's almost time for dinner. Please, let me escort you inside. Sir Mithros gestures for them to follow him. I'm about to follow after them when Sir Alcaster suddenly moves to block my path. His eyes are cold. He opens his mouth to say something, but then closes it and shakes his head. You are dismissed, girl. You may go back to your quarters. But that is in order. His gaze is piercing. Even when I was the princess, I was not able to stand up to that gaze. Yes, sir. After dinner, I make my way back to the room assigned to me. As I walk down the hall, I notice Rod heading in my direction. What? He suddenly grabs my arm and pulls me away down the hall.
Where are you taking me?
Rod does not answer and just continues moving until we reach an unfamiliar door.
What is going on?
Rod cuts me off by placing a finger on his lips. On my lips. He looks around warily before finally pulling me into the room with the door. What the hell? This place. I've heard of this place before, but I've never seen it.
Is this a secret passage that leads into town?
Rod does not answer me. He simply keeps walking, and I see no other option but to trail after him.
How is it that you know this place?
He still refuses to answer. God damn! Stop asking so many questions, Calisto. Are you deaf? Rod suddenly stops, and I bump to his back. I stumble back with a scowl. You asked too many questions. Finally! Yeah, you do, Calisto! Shut your face! Because you refuse to answer any of them. I glare back at him until Rod makes an exasperated sound. Yay! It's keeping up! Woo! Woo, 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 woo. I'm happy. So I just need to keep up this tab. Keep open this tab. Lady Parfait is the one who told me about this passage. It makes sneaking out of the palace easier.
Parfait?
She did not give me an explanation as to how she knew of this place. There are only meant to be 2 copies of the keys. The king has one and Sir Alcaster has the other.
Then why do you have a key?
Don't tell me you stole it from the king. I'm not a thief. Lady Parfait also has a copy. She saw fit to provide me with a key for my own use.
What? How does Parfait have a key to this place?
You'll have to ask her that yourself. Once we step into town, I realize that is where it is that we are headed. We're going back to the Martian. Delora is the first person we see as soon as we enter the Martian. Well, look what the cat dragged in. Delora, you... Rod's glare silences me. He steps forward and points back at me, glaze icy. She's not staying at the palace. What? Delora raises an eyebrow. Why is that? She works there now. I did not know what game you were playing, but I will not be a part of it. Excuse me? This is not a game. I do not want you meddling in my life as you meddle with hers. The room's temperature drops several degrees. Delora stares at Rod, her expression suddenly lacking any emotion. With all due respect, Your Highness, I do not want to meddle with your wallowing. But just because you did not wish to break your curse doesn't mean that the others shouldn't want to either. You should be humbled that our princess here thought you would be able to help her. Rod raises an eyebrow. Where is Lady Parfait?
Of course you want to talk to Parfait, because she puts things nicely. Hold on a second, I need to go get some water. But... listen to this beautiful music. So I shall be right back.
Oh my god, he's a kitty. Kitty. Come on, kitty. Yay.
of water. I'm gonna snuggle a kitty for a second. Alrighty, I'm officially back. It's almost been an hour. Wow, we're almost already through chapter 3. I might just play until chapter 4 then, or maybe chapter 5. I'm not sure how many chapters. Gotta be playing for a while though. Okay. There we go. Sorry about that. I turned off everything.
Fine, I'll fetch her for you. Delora curtsies as she sweeps out of the room. Hopefully my voices are better now because I actually have water. Rod sighs. He clearly looks irritated, but doesn't put a voice to his agitation. Ha! Ironic. Now that we're alone in the empty room, the silence is deafening. And so I ask him the question that has bothered me ever since we came here. This is, like, the only question. Why do you not want to break your curse? I don't need to explain myself to you.
Do you even know how to break your curse?
I do.
Then why are you not doing anything?
It's none of your business. I did not realize the anger inside of me at first, and then I noticed that my hands are fists, and I'm shaking. You are angry at me for treating your family with unkindness, and yet you do not treat me with any respect or kindness either. Treat others how you would want to be treated, lady. Excuse me? I realize that this is the angriest I've felt in a long time. It makes my words fall out of my mouth. You are guilty of the same disrespect you hold me accountable for. You're both cruel to the We are both being cruel to family, aren't we? Rod's eyes are ablaze as he stalks towards me. He stops right in front of me, his mouth pressed into a firm line. And so you were fond of telling. As you were so fond of telling Emmeline, we did not share any blood. The only thing pulling us together is the king, and you do not share any of his morals. Remember this, Calisto. You will never be a part of my family. And I will never see you as a sister. Well then, that makes it easier to pursue. That makes it easier to pursue you. God damn it. Okay. Rod storms out of the reception area just as Delora enters. Sorry, it looks like Parfait wasn't in. What is that over there? She pauses, then gives me a wry smile. Seems this partnership is going well. I throw my hands up in anger. He is infuriating! Not as helpful as you thought. I was surprised you were asking for his help in the first place. All I have been doing today is following around Emmeline, and he still finds reasons to snap at me. In his eyes, I can do nothing right, even though I'm making an honest effort to break my curse. Delora eyes me as she slides down into a chair. Has he told you anything about his curse? Only that he knows how to break it. Delora sighs. Boys can be so secretive about the silliest things. Rod has been aware of how to break his curse from the very beginning. Then why hasn't he broke it? I have no idea. I think the other person who knows the full terms and conditions of Rod's curse is Parfait. Parfait has known Rod for a while. She convinced him to keep coming to the Martian even after he gave up on breaking his curse. Parfait also thinks that working with you will convince Rod to try to find another way to break his curse. Another way? Don't ask me. I don't know much about his curse either. But if you keep trying, you might convince Rod to talk. I doubt that very much. It seems that all I'm doing is convincing Rod that I do not deserve to break my own curse. Delora looks at me curiously for a few moments, then she grins. I have an idea. If it is another terrible idea... Oh no, this one's much better. I'll just stick around with you. You know, watch out for you. What? Delora, watch out for me. Oh hell. She turned into a doll again, didn't she? I'm surprised when Delora suddenly stands before me in her doll form. There's no way you and Rod are going to sort yourselves out without some kind of help, so I'll be tagging along. It's much easier when I'm travel-sized, Why do I feel like she'll only make things worse? Come on, then. Delora somehow manages to jump into the front pocket of my apron, which is thankfully large enough to fit her doll body. Let's go find a prince and get ourselves back. Let's go find us a prince and get ourselves back to the palace. Chapter 4. One step forward. Okay, so I'm just gonna go on until I feel happy where we are, because that was kind of a cliffhanger. It has been more than a week since Rod and I returned to the Martian. He's been avoiding me ever since that day. Not that we have much cause to be around each other nowadays. I'm constantly on my feet preparing for Emmeline's ball. ball.
This is ridiculous.
Better to be busy than bored, princess. I stopped for a moment to better balance the pile of fabrics that I'm carrying. One of the maids has ordered me to bring this to a designated room so that I can sort it out. I'm being reduced to fetching and carrying, and I have made no progress on accomplishing my first good deed. I doubt that simply following orders from the other maids will help me get my first good deed. I feel a shuffling in my pocket and then notice Delora picking her porcelain face out. Better to obey rather than disobey, I guess, at least. You're not going to get a good deed from being stubborn. Anyway, you've got to push yourself out there a bit more, princess. You can't just do whatever is convenient for you. That's not good. Delora has been no help at all. Wait, I recognize this place. Isn't this where your room is? I stop in front of the door to my old bedroom. Ever since I came here, I've been ignoring this room, not wanting to see what the king did to it during my absence. Do you not want to go in? Why should I? It's not as if it's my room anymore. Oh, you're no fun. I'm just curious how it's changed. I would be lying if I said I wasn't. I guess a little peek into it. I step into the room and close the door behind me. It's like stepping into the past. The room is exactly as I left it. It seems completely untouched. Moments later, Delora is standing before me in her human form. It looks like someone's been dusting in here. Strange, considering no one should remember who this room even belongs to. I glance around, eyes wide. It's probably Rod! Everything looks the same. I put the fabrics I'm carrying down on my bed and make way to the shelf where my dolls are displayed. My eyes pause on a specific doll. Huh. This one was not here before. Oh, it's Evelyn! Delora raises an eyebrow. Maybe you just don't remember that one because she wasn't very memorable? You do have a lot of dolls, after all. No, I know each of my dolls by name. This one is definitely new. She looks very similar to the dolls I saw at Fiorca's shop. I quickly turned at the sound of the doorknob. My eyes moved to Delora, and she's already turned into a doll and tucked herself into a corner of the shelf with the rest of my dolls. Emmeline stands in the doorway, eyeing me curiously.
Calisto, what are you doing here?
I made a mistake and thought I was supposed to bring these fabrics here. I hope she does not see through my lie. Emmeline shakes her head, smiling.
It's not your fault, Calisto. You're still getting used to the palace and its many rooms. I got lost here all the time when I first arrived, too. This room is interesting, though. Father expressed the order that it be kept clean but otherwise undisturbed. Why would he say that? He won't say why, but apparently this room is very special to him. Maybe it belonged to someone he cherished. Cherished? What a joke. Still, I cannot help but feel hope at her suggestion. I don't think Father would like either of us being in here. We should leave soon. I only came to put a ribbon on one of the dolls. One of the dolls? Yes, I put one of my dolls here. She walks past me to pick up the doll I did not recognize. I bought this. I know Emmeline always visited Fiorca, but I did not think she liked dolls. She always preserved receiving and buying books. Why did she have this doll? Do you like dolls? Well, I mean I don't mind them, but I don't usually buy them for myself, no.
So why did you buy this one? Emmeline looks at the doll with a sad smile and shakes her head.
I'm not sure. I bought it as a gift, I remember that much. I was going to give it to someone who liked dolls, someone I wanted to befriend. I don't know why, but it feels right to leave the doll here until I can remember whom I was meant to give her to.
Emmeline is silent for a moment before she returns to me with a bright smile.
I know you have a delivery to make, but could you come with me to the palace entrance first? My mother's still busy talking with the cook, so the fabrics can wait.
I resist the urge to glare at her. She better not be dragging me around to get more errands.
I'm expecting a delivery and I might need your help.
I thought so. I have no choice but to nod. Of course. I begrudgingly follow Emmeline to the entrance, and there I see the delivery carriage. A familiar person stands beside it.
Fiorca!
Emmeline puts Fiorca into a tight hug. I turn my attention away to the glare of... Goddamn, my nose gets stuffy whenever I'm talking for so long. Sorry if you can hear those gulping sounds. I really hate that whenever someone can hear that. Emmeline pulls Fiorca into a tight hug. I turn my attention to glare at the number of boxes at the back of the carriage. I will no doubt have my help carrying them inside. How are the preparations for the ball coming?
Emmeline's smile seems forced at first, but then eases into something softer. It's going well, I suppose. How about the wedding?
Desmond and I have finalized the date. It will be 2 days after your ball.
I can't wait to see you in your wedding dress.
These two always talk so much when they see each other. I ignore the chatter and I walk up to the carriage to observe the boxes piled inside. What's in the boxes?
Oh!
Viorica reaches out to grab one. She hands it to me. I'm helping with the ball decorations. I came by with a part of the order today. Part of it? Careful, it's a bit heavy. I take the box from her hands and nearly stumble. This is heavy! Emily should have the male servants do this. Queen Ophelia placed quite a large order. I brought the more fragile decorations first.
Oh, the glass baubles and vases?
I grip my teeth as I shift the box in my arms in an attempt to make it easier to hold. I thought you worked at a toy shop? Yes, but we also have aisles dedicated specifically to party decorations. What kind of toy shop is that?
Calisto, will you be alright?
I feel annoyance simmering within me. I'm obviously not alright. Emmeline reaches out to help me with the box, but she's too late. I've only taken one step forward and then the box slides and I stumble. I manage to cradle it in my arms, but its weight is too much for me. Before I hit the ground, I feel strong arms around my waist, pulling me back upright. The box is taken from me. Hi, Rod! My heart and mind are racing for a moment, and I cannot comprehend what has just happened. Are you alright? Rod? I glance to the side, and I'm shocked to see Rod standing there. The expression on his face gives nothing away, but with our eyes close distance, I can see some flicker of emotion in his bright eyes. Concern?
Calisto, I'm so sorry. Are you okay?
Rod pushes me, and I stumble forward, almost tripping on the ground. He raises an eyebrow at me. Know your limits, Calisto. I glare at him as anger begins to bubble up in my chest. But I think it's better to stay silent. I clench my fists and take a deep breath to try and calm myself. I'll not stoop to his level. He's the one being cruel here, not me. Okay, with your selfish thinking. You shouldn't have stubbornly tried to carry something that was too heavy for you. Yeah! Okay, we're good. Yay! I will not take responsibility if you get hurt. Rod, you shouldn't be angry with her for trying to help me. It was my fault for giving her something so heavy. Viorica, what are you doing here? Rod's voice is still cold. Viorica looks startled by his tone. I only came here to deliver some of the decorations for the ball. And you thought Emmeline and her maid could carry these things on her own?
Rod, this is not her fault. I'm the one who chose to bring Calisto with me. I underestimated the size of the delivery. Viorica was just delivering the supplies.
At least she admits her mistakes. I never thought Rod would be so stubborn. Emmeline's expression softens as she looks at her brother. She looks sad. Rod ignores her and picks up the box that I had been carrying. He begins to walk away before he suddenly stops and glances back at me. Come on.
Rod?
We're going to call some servants to carry these boxes in. He turns around and begins to walk away. I'm Emmeline's personal maid, not his. I glance at Emmeline, who nods her head.
I really am so sorry. Thank you for helping my brother, Calisto.
I curtsy ever so slightly before returning to Rod. Rod, wait! He picks up his pace as if trying to lose me. I turn the corner and barely stop myself before running into Rod's back. What now? Why are you so angry at me today? I barely have even spoken to you. Your mere presence is enough to start in my mood. Wow! I glance at him and cross my arms. Funny, you call me cruel, but right now you were worse than ever. You were worse than I ever was. I don't need someone who has even managed a single good deed to lecture me. Wow, okay. I try very hard to resist the urge to slap him. Yeah, don't do that. You were supposed to help me get a good deed. As I said before, I never agreed to this. I still refuse to help you. Rod starts walking again, and I hurry after him. I cannot help but recall how cold he was with Viorica earlier. I thought they were friends, but he treated her like this at the toy shop too. At the toy shop too. Why were you so angry with Viorica earlier? No reason. I raise an eyebrow when Rod quickly answers the question. Then you were cold for no reason. You have such a princely disposition. Rod retorts, but has no rebuttal for my words.
You must be generally cold and unfriendly.
Excuse me.
That would explain why you treated Viorica as you did. I thought that you two were childhood friends.
Viorica was always closer with Emmeline than with me. We may have been friendly once, but since become distant. Distant? It is none of your business. I pause as we pass by my door, remembering that I left both the fabrics and Delora inside. I make my way towards the door and open it. What are you doing? None of your business. Enjoyed your field trip? I frown when I see her sitting on my bed in human form. What would you have done if it wasn't me? Us witches have a sense for these things. Delora. Rod slowly enters the room.
It's nice to see you, Lady Delora.
Oh.
It's nice to see you here, Lady Delora.
Nice to see you too, little Sebby. Why are you here? Delora shrugs as she inspects her nails. I thought it would help the princess here, since someone doesn't seem very willing. Rod furrows his eyebrows at her. I didn't... Yes, I know, you didn't sign up for this. But do you really think you have a choice, Rod? Delora looks at Rod pointedly. You know the consequences if this fails. Rod looks away, his expression conflicted. Consequences? What are you talking about? Consequences for not helping me with my curse? Rod sighs heavily before turning back to Delora. He does not pay attention to me. I'm not the right person for this. Doesn't matter what you think. The princess thought you were, so suck it up and do your job. Rod is silent for a few moments before he finally faces me, looking resigned. I will help you then, but don't expect me to change my opinions of you. I shrug at him. It's not like I was expecting you to in the first place. Delora grins with clear triumph. Good talk. Rod sighs. In order to achieve your good deeds, you're going to need to mend what you broke before. I feel I already know what he's going to say. My sister has always wanted to be your friend, so you must do it. So you must do just that. Show her kindness and you may be able to get her your first good deed through her. Show her kindness, huh? Delora decides to stay in my room for the time being, saying that she believes Rod will be able to help me for now. Later, I make my way to the dining room with the fabrics and see Emmeline and Ophelia inside.
Calisto!
Ah, I see you have the fabric. Thank you. Ophelia takes the utmost sample of fabric and begins to inspect it as Emmeline walks up to me.
Where's Rod?
He returned to his studies.
Oh, right. He has history lessons today. And I'm yet to finish my history homework, which is due tomorrow.
Sorry, I keep drinking water. I have dry lips right now and I keep on feeling it and it's annoying. Also, my heckin' nose is all nasally right now. As Emmeline muses aloud, I ponder what Rod told me earlier. Must becomes Emmeline's friend, but is that really a good deed?
I hope Rod didn't send the servants out there before he went back to his room. I wanted to tell him that Viorica and I already called on guards to bring the boxes inside.
Maybe he decided to start his lessons earlier so that he could make your dance lesson this evening. Dance lesson?
Father wanted to hire the best dance instructor in Ungiel, but I honestly feel more comfortable with Rod teaching me. He is a good dancer, so Father has allowed it.
Not as a surprise. I didn't know Rod could dance. He used to prefer singing, but then... Ophelia trailed off. I know that she's talking about the fairy tale curse, but I do not expect her to divulge such information to a maid like myself. He's decided to focus on his dancing for the past few months. Ophelia glances down at the fabrics, then looks up and smiles. Calisto, would you mind helping me with this? I obediently walk over to the fabrics Ophelia wants me to look through. They are apparently samples for the tablecloth that will be used during the ball. This is going to be a long day. Rod comes immediately to the throne room after his history lessons to start on his dance lessons with Emmeline. I'm only standing here because it is my responsibility as her personal maid to watch over her as she practices. About as she steps out of rhythm and Rod sighs at her. You're doing it wrong. That's the 10th time.
Sorry.
Again. They start from the beginning, and I am unable to stifle my own sigh when Emmeline misses up the same step again. This would make the 11th time.
I really am terrible at this.
Would you rather have the royal dance instructor teach you? He has more experience teaching than I do.
Oh no, I really do want you to teach me, Rod.
I'm sorry that I'm
such a slow learner. You were always good at everything. Singing, dancing, cooking.
Prince Rod cooks?
Yes, Rod does cook. He's very good at it.
You didn't have to tell her that, Em.
Doesn't really matter. I love bragging about how talented my little brother is.
I see a tinge of pink in Rod's cheeks as he turns away. Is he embarrassed? Emmeline looks down at the floor, her smile smaller.
I wish I was as talented as you, Rod.
I'd always thought Emmeline was overly optimistic. She always seems to bounce back with a smile, no matter how many times I pushed her away. Now I cannot help but reconsider the thought. Still seeing her like this only irritates me. Pitying yourself will get you nowhere. Not everyone can be perfect at everything when they first start out. I remember when Mother gave me the similar lessons. She was always such a harsh teacher, and then she hated when I showed weakness in front of her. She made me keep practicing until I had perfected whatever it was she wanted me to do. Failure was never an option. I'd never had time for self-pity. Instead of feeling sorry for yourself, just try harder. Let failure inspire you to do better. Calisto, that was...
She's right, Rod. Instead of complaining, I should be working harder.
I let an exasperated sigh and crossed my arms. You always look at your feet whenever you reach the underarm turn. Instead, focus on counting your steps and let Prince Rod lead you. Worrying too much on your next step is what puts you off rhythm. Emmeline stares at me.
Can you dance, Calisto?
I can. Why?
Wow, that's amazing!
There's nothing amazing about me being able to dance. Her praise makes me embarrassed regardless.
Maybe I could learn faster seeing someone else do the dance first.
What are you talking about? Yay! What are you talking about?
It might be easier to copy the steps if I have someone to perform them first.
She turns to me suddenly, eyes bright.
Would you help me?
I meant to assign Emmeline in any way that I can... But dancing with her brother? Surely a lowly maid should not be doing this. I'm gonna heckin' accept, man! Well, if I do accept, at least I can prove that I am a better dancer than Rod. Besides, I'm supposed to be listening to Emmeline no matter how absurd her requests are. If that is what you want.
Really?
Emmeline rushes up to me and takes my hand in hers.
Thank you, Calisto. I thought it might be an awkward request, but I'm happy you've agreed to this.
I turn to look at Rod, who is glowering. I'm not dancing with her. She might step on my feet. Emmeline gives him a disapproving look.
Rod, please?
Rod eyes me warily. I step towards him and offer my hand. Shall we? Rod scowls at me for a few moments before finally taking my hand. Yay! They look so fucking tense, man. I put my hand on his shoulder and he places his hand on the small of my back. Rod looks at me but quickly averts his gaze. Is something wrong? I didn't think I would ever have to dance with you, is all. Neither did I. Rod looks at me again. This time he has an uncomfortable scowl on his face. He's not the only one uncomfortable here. We both start dancing. I mentally start counting the steps. It's been a long time since I've danced with anyone, but the steps come to me naturally. This dance is rather simple. While Rod and I move stiffly, I cannot help but notice his careful footwork. I realize that Rod is a pretty decent dancer. Of course, I would never openly admit that. When we stop, I hear Emmeline clapping her hands as she looks at the both of us in awe.
You really are a good dancer! Thank you so much for showing me the steps. Now I know for sure what to do during that part.
Yay! I just shrug at her before stepping back into the corner. Emmeline takes her position in front of Rod once more. This time she has a bright smile on her face. I cannot believe something as simple as that just made her so happy. At the end of the day, Emmeline has managed to do the steps correctly. She tells me many times how grateful she is for the work. I forgot if I got, like, a ding for that. Oh well. After practice, I return to my room to retire to bed. I think about how happy Emmeline was. Oh god, my eyes are watering from the second mask. Whoops. How can such small things make a person so happy? God damn, my words. You stepped out of rhythm again, Calisto.
But Mother, this is really hard.
A princess never complains. You must perfect this waltz by tomorrow, otherwise I will not allow you to play with your dolls for the day. If you have time for objections, you have time to push yourself harder. Now once again from the top. What's up with the heckin' moms and being like dicks in dating sims, man? The following days are uneventful. Emmeline continues her dance lessons with Rod. Her steps are still far from perfect, but I can tell that she has improved since my demonstration with Rod. Meanwhile, Rod still chooses to ignore me most of the time, though I have noticed that he is less cool than usual. At least he does not step at me for no good reason anymore. His reasons are perfectly good. You're just very dense in that place. Though Dolores is no longer assisting me, she insists on staying in my room more often. She says that there is something important that she wants to investigate, and I cannot even guess what it might be. I prefer not having her around anyway. Her constant chattering makes it difficult to focus on anything. Right now, I'm still trying to figure out how I can achieve my first good deed. Almost 3 months have passed since I was first cursed, but I have yet to complete my first good deed. Man, you are very slow with this, my lady. These are thoughts as I head back to my sleeping quarters after dinner that night. Emmeline excused me long ago, insisting that I go to my own room before she went to hers. I'm walking down the hallway when I notice Rod heading down a familiar path. I follow after him. Are you going to the Martian? Rod jumps and turns around. The surprise in his face quickly fades into annoyance. Don't do that again. And no, not today. Since I came here, I found out that Rod occasionally sneaks out of the palace at night through the secret passageway to go to the Martian. Even though I'm still confused as to why he goes there. He said before that he had given up on breaking his curse, which makes me wonder why he still visits. It also makes me wonder why he would refuse to break his curse in the first place. Is he being okay with the way that he is, or is curse just really difficult to break? Hold on a second, let me fix my heckin' chair blanket. Dobby, why did you move? Man, it scared me for a moment there. I just saw my cat laying in the heckin' corner, and why is there a dog in my room, man? Hold on a second. Here he is! What are you doing in here, Pupper? Come on. Get out, Pupper. Okay, bye. Oh, it's here. I think I left it downstairs. Wait, it might have been in the bathroom. That's probably where it was. I don't know why there was a dog in my room, man. Okay. Man, this waltz is great. Is he okay? Okay. Why were you cursed, Rod? I'm not answering that question. Why? I cannot help you break a curse if you refuse to tell me anything. I told you before that I did not need your help. But I chose you as my partner. You help me, and I help you. It is highly unlikely that breaking Rod's curse will also count for a good deed. You have to kiss the person you love. Probably. Rod scowls at me and crosses his arms. I'm afraid that this isn't how this works at all. The sound of footsteps keeps me from coming back with a retort. We both turn to see Sir Alcaster approaching us. Prince Rod, good evening. Good evening, Sir Alcaster. Sir Alcaster turns to me and raises an eyebrow. Shouldn't you be attending to Prince Emmeline? Rod silences me with a look. He moves to stand in front of me, shielding me from Sir Alcaster's gaze. You were just about to go to her. Let's go, Calisto. Rod strides away and I quickly curtsy to Sir Alcaster before following after Rod. I can still feel Sir Alcaster's eyes on my back as I walk away. I try my best to suppress a shudder. Rod and I walk through the hallway in silence. We both stop in our tracks when we hear clattering of silverware. I look around and realize that the sound has come from behind a set of doors that is slightly open. The dining hall? Oh no! That's Emmeline's voice. We do not see Emmeline when we enter the room, but there is a dizzying array of coldstream set out on the table. Emmeline? Emmeline surprises us by both crawling out from beneath the table. I knew it. She flashes us an embarrassed smile as she gets to her feet, holding several forks and knives in her hands. What are you doing here? You should be getting ready for bed.
Sorry.
I eye the silverware on the table.
I thought I could practice before you sleep today. I cannot speak.
It has already been an incredibly long day for her, and she's still doing this? I watch as Emmeline puts her coldstream back onto the table in the wrong places. You need to rest, Em.
I will after I practice the placement one last time.
She smiles at him before returning to the table.
I don't know why a person would need so much poultry. 1 fork, 1 spoon, and 1 knife should be more than enough for any meal. And all these glasses! If I recall, this one's for water, this one is for red wine, and this one is for white wine.
Pretty sure. That flute is for champagne. The other is for sherry.
Oh, right! There are 2 more.
The other is for juice, and the other glass is for dessert wine. The dessert wine glass will only be used during the dessert course, and the juice glass is only used when juice is being served as a course. Otherwise, it is placed next to the water goblet.
I see.
I see Rod staring at me out of the corner of his eyes. His lips twitch before he turns back to his sister. It looked like he was about to smile.
And what are these for?
Yay! Don't be rude. Emmeline points out the group of forks in front of her. You use those every day, Your Highness. You should know the answer. Emmeline points at them as she rattles off names.
Dinner fork, fish fork, salad.
Correct.
You know so much about etiquette, too. You're really incredible, Calisto. You'd make a better noblewoman than I do.
Even if I told her I was a noble, it's not as if she would believe me. I just read a lot about these kinds of things.
You read and know enough to put them into practice? That's amazing. Especially since you haven't even been with us so long. Right, Rod?
Rod shrugs. He does not, much to my surprise, disagree.
Perhaps you should be my teacher, Calisto. I can learn so quickly from you.
Emmeline quickly straightens out the cold tree. Now that I think about it, I've come to realize that Emmeline is much more than she appeared to be. Hold on a second, my cat's staring at something. Oh my god. Because my dog is out and she doesn't like dogs. I have no idea why he is out in the first place though. Okay. Hold on a second. There is an eyelash. Why did I open Movie Maker? God damn, this mask is killing me, dude. Alrighty. I don't care about Movie Maker, man. Okay, we're good. What the fuck? Okay. It's probably because I'm forced to spend so much time with her as her maid. She's different. She's flawed, not as conceited, and more humble than I originally thought. Maybe I should try lending her a hand. It may not be one of your duties, but if you need help with your lessons, just ask me. I will do what I can for you. Calisto? I glance abroad, who's once again wearing that expression of surprise. I shift my attention to Emmeline once again. You only have 1 month left to prepare, and as your personal maid, I can feel it my responsibility to help you in whatever ways I can.
Calisto.
Emmeline wipes her eyes from the back of her hand, and that's when I notice something glistening on her cheeks. Is she crying?
You're extremely kind, Calisto. Thank you. I will definitely take you up on that offer.
I'm still looking at Emmeline when I catch a faint glow coming from the pendant on my chest. What just happened?
Oh, what a pretty necklace you have there, Calisto.
Thank you.
Anyway, for now I think the both of us would benefit from some sleep.
Yay! We get our first good deed! After escorting Emmeline back to my room, I walk out in the hallway in the daze. What was that light? It seems like you actually managed to obtain your first good deed.
I did not know he was still here.
I look down at my pendant, astonished at what I see. Yay! A piece of a glass slipper? I gingerly touch the new piece that is hanging to my next existing glass slipper pendant.
It is real. It's real.
You're not too bad after all. Did he just compliment me? He's fucking smiling. What are you talking about?
What?
Ron turns away. Nothing. Yay! He walks away, leaving me alone with my thoughts. Chapter 5. Secrets. Alrighty. Okay. Alright, okay. Alright. Okay. Alright, okay. This is where we're stopping. Yay. Yay! Yay, 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 yay. Alrighty. So that's where I'm gonna stop. Because, you know, this is great. I love this game. Cinderella Phenomenon is a great game. I love Cinderella and I love the story, and I've always loved the story for some reason. I just find it enchanting, I guess. Like becoming a peasant and then going up to being royalty. I find that really endearing for some reason. Also just the magic of everything. I don't know why I exactly like the Cinderella story, but I like it anyway. So I think that's all I'm gonna do for now, because that was a great story so far. So chapters 2 and 4 is what I did. That was great. So that's all I'm gonna be doing for this stream. It is currently 11 o'clock. Hopefully I really hope I have a snow day tomorrow. I can't be too sure because there's supposed to be a snowstorm. But I can't get all of my hopes up, so I probably still have to do all of my stuff for, you know, other classes. Because I have geometry, English. I don't think I have anything for science, and I don't have anything for cartooning. But I have a lot to do for English, because English is, you know, English. And you have to write a lot. And then there's geometry, which, you know, is math. So I have to do that stuff. And then that's pretty much all. I should probably do that stuff before I go to bed. Oh, I also gotta read this heckin' book, Tell the Wolves I'm Home by Carol Rifka Brunt. It's a pretty good book. I like it so far. I'm on chapter 5 out of 66, man. 66 chapters in a book, man? That's weird. Anyways, I'll see you guys on Monday. Yeah. Sorry this was late because I was doing other stuff. I don't know if I explained it earlier or if I was just rambling on to myself in my bedroom before the stream. But I was like talking about Burger King because I got like free coupons for Burger King and it was great. And I was like, hey friends, why don't we all go to Burger King sometime? And they're like, hell yeah. And so I was talking about that. I was also chatting with my father, whom I don't talk to a lot because for a lot of reasons. Was that my kitty? My baby. She's telling me to get off so I can let her out. Hold on, baby. And then there was a video, and I'm like, oh yeah, I need to watch this because my mentor is talking. So I did, and then I realized that it was 9:30, and I'm like, hell. So that's all I did. Yes, baby! Okay, so I'm just gonna go because my cat is like, meow. Okay.